sales meeting. Today is the awards banquet, lunch banquet for Florida. So Stacy is down in Florida, so I'm going to do this one today. So we have some great news, but let me just start by sharing my screen, and we're going to start by going over the monthly numbers real quick. And let me just get this going. Hopefully everybody can see my screen. Oh, what do? I went too far. I went the wrong way. Here we go. Ta-da. There we are. March. We had 198 closings. Total sales volume was 88 million.
Len, we can't see your screen.
You
got to share your screen.
All right. Hang on. Where did it go? I hate when I screw it up, huh? There we go. Can you see it now then?
Yes.
Awesome. There we go. All right. So March, we had 198 closings for a total of 88 million. For the numbers from Florida, we had 52 units at 16.7 million. Massachusetts was 139 units at 68.6 million. And now, even though it shows that there was only 7 units at 2.7 million for New Hampshire, remember though, is that a lot of agents who are licensed in both Mass and New Hampshire, some of those numbers get mixed in together. So there was really actually more sales in New Hampshire. And then we have, for the top 5 for Massachusetts, the top 5 individual agents: Corey Gracie, Elena Marquez, Linda Lee, Mike Durkin, and Matt Winterly. For teams of Massachusetts, Silver Key Homes was number 1 this month. Dan O'Connell and Company was number 2. Vision Realty Group, number 3. Rogers Mello Team, number 4. And Rose Homes in Fairhaven was number 5. Next up is the top 5 individuals by volume. Corey Gracie was at the top again. Matt Winterly, Elaine Marquez, Mike Durkin, and Ariana Cardillo were, and these are by volume, dollar volume. And so the top teams for dollar volume was the Rogers Mello team. I believe they got both sides of a $2.5 million team sale. So that's while they're way up at the top for sure. Next in is Silver Key Homes, and then O'Connell and Company, Vision Realty Group, and Page and Company. And now for New Hampshire, for teams and individuals by volume and units, we have the Platinum Realty Group, the Fulford Group, Pro Homes Group, and then Lisa Newman. And then for top 10 Florida agents by agents and teams by volume, Jane Levin, Christine Bayer, Jeanette Peasant, Jeff Browning, Tanya McLennan, Roberto, Brent Balcom, B and Gaston team, Sylvan Rebello, and Wendy Rogers. Congratulations, everyone. And for the top 10 Florida agents by units, agents and teams by units, it's Roberto, followed by Joe Kotnick, Jeff Browning, Jeanette Peasant, Jose Alcibo, Jane Levin, Christina Bayer, B and Gaston team, Tanya McLennan, and Brett Balcom. Congratulations, everyone. All right, so now here's the important part of the meeting is we have with us Jeff Spencer from Lone Wolf Technologies, and he's going to tell us all about the new programs we have with Homespotter. Well, oh, he's still.
There we go. Off
There
of mute. You hear me okay? All right.
Perfect.
Hello, everybody. And thanks, Len, for the invitation, and Sergio as well. We're excited to actually get to partner, with everybody on the Homespotter Boost, platform. We're excited to work with you guys, and you'll actually find that it'll be an easy platform for you to operate yourselves as individuals. You've got access actually directly to the Boost platform, and we'll get into the details on the Boost platform now. Actually, right from your property-based Go login. So when you're logged into the CRM, when you go into the marketing section, there's actually a boost dashboard option that will appear. If it's not there now, it'll appear once we've got, things launched, with this particular platform. So HomeSpotter Boost, just to give everybody a little bit of background, was actually founded in 2009, and it was pretty much the first, sort of provider into our space, into the real estate space, to provide a digital advertising opportunity, obviously to create, brand awareness and to create, more lead opportunities. And so the platform itself has obviously evolved through that time. We're happy to say that we've been copied by many other companies as well, or at least there's been attempts to copy what we had built. Lone Wolf purchased actually HomeSpotter in just over 2 years ago. But the company was actually founded in Minnesota, actually in 2009. And it was by someone that wasn't actually from our industry, someone that came up with the concept, contacted a few people from the industry as advisory board members, and then generated, started getting this platform, up and running. And it's been a huge, success pretty much since inception. And so what I'm going to do with you today is kind of give you a quick overview of the platform itself, the different options that exist within it. And, I'll touch on obviously what we're going to be doing what you're going to be doing from a corporate perspective, like from a brokerage perspective. So first and foremost is it's great that you actually have a brokerage that's supportive of everybody on the team and wants to advertise listings. So part of the Boost platform launch is that you're going to have, all new listings will be advertised to generate obviously awareness of the listing itself, more brand awareness of you as individual producers, and of course to generate some lead activity. Not every brokerage out there is providing that kind of support to their team, so it's great that you guys have that opportunity. How the process looks and feels like when you go into your dashboard, it'll look a little bit different than this. This is a demo type environment that you're looking at, but there are different types of ads that can be run. So when you look at what we're setting up at the brokerage level, we're going to be setting up these new listing ads. And the listing ads will go out into really two different locations. One is a social presence. The ads will be, designed obviously with your own marketing, specifications. And when a new listing comes out, we grab that new listing and prepare that ad to go for launch. So utilizing the design that you guys have in place, you'll see an ad similar to what you're seeing on the screen here, going into Facebook, Instagram, and stories. Our primary sources on the social side. We're actually also working with Nextdoor as well. It's something we've been experimenting with for a few months. But this is the look and feel of what the ad would look like from a client perspective. There's also a banner ad type of advertising that will be on a lot of prominent websites, major national websites, where you get a ton of impressions and activity around branding. Okay, so typically what you'll find with these type of ads, and when you run some of these yourself, if you boost an ad or if you run a different type of ad, you'll find that these banner ads generate a lot of impression activity, a lot of branding, certainly gets the name out there, but it won't generate as much on the lead side of things. It'll be these social media ads that will generate, lead activity. So for an individual consumer, they'll click onto the ad, and this is where it'll lead them to. And it gives them a little bit more information on your particular listing, but not too much detail, right? So for them to actually learn more about the property, they've got to go through, a gated process and give obviously up their name and email address and actually request more information. And this is where the leads, come in. So to give you an idea, on any one place of these ads that gets done, the average amount of impressions is about 2,000 to 3,000 per ad. Okay? And you'll get anywhere from 100 to 200 clicks that'll take place on an ad, and anywhere from 10 to 20 buyer leads will actually come through an individual listing ad. So you will be collecting individuals who are searching actively for properties, at that given time within a radius of your listing. So we really narrow down, to the vicinity around that listing, who we're retargeting and going after to get as new leads into your system. And so that 10 to 20 lead thing has actually historically been conservative. I think that in the current market that we're in is more likely that's where we'll be, is in that range. But when the market was hot the last couple of years, our ad or all of our numbers, quite frankly, were exceeding what we sort of, published to our broker partners. So look and feel wise, nice clean look. The client will click through, and then that'll give them an opportunity to get more information, obviously, from that individual agent on the listing. And so those will be done on an automated basis. And every time a new listing comes out, you'll get a notification. So both your marketing area and yourselves as producers, you'll get an email that will come out and it'll explain that your listing is about to go live. If there's something you want to edit in your ad, you've got an opportunity to do that. So there's usually like an 8-hour, can be anywhere from like a 4-hour to 8-hour time frame put on the ad, so that you can actually go in and make some kind of an edit to it. Maybe you wanted to change a photo or some element of the ad. You've got that opportunity to do so. You certainly don't have to. You don't even have to actually monitor these emails. Everything will go live based on the design of the ad that was already in place, but it does give you that opportunity to take a look. One of the nice parts is, with it being obviously tied to social media, if there are comments made on social media, you'll get notified right away. So if somebody posts something, you'll know what it is, be able to see what those comments are, see if they require any kind of response. Sometimes on social media, I think people also post things that shouldn't be, so it gives you an opportunity to hide something quickly. But you'll certainly have ample opportunity to react to any kind of social activity that comes off of the ad. You'll also get a daily digest, so to give you an update on what's happened with the ad so far, how much activity's been been generated. It'll show you any new leads that have come through the process as well. You'll then get a full summary at the end of the campaign, and so you'll get the full details of exactly what's happened with with the ad, how many views, how many clicks, how many engagements did you have from a lead perspective. Oh, and sorry, Len, I forgot to mention, if there are any questions as we go, I think both you and Sergio, we're going to kind of monitor the chat and see if there's anything specific for me. So please, if you have questions, feel free to, to throw those questions into the chat. And then one of the really great parts of the platform that I like is just the opportunity for you to report back to your seller. So you don't have to do this, but if you see this as an added value, you can sign the client up to get a seller campaign, so that they'll get. Obviously, you're doing a ton of things for them when you're listing their property. There's a lot of value you're bringing to the table, but it's nice to be able to provide them with some data to back up that value as well. So there's actually a summary that they can receive that will show them how much activity you generated off of just this one part of what you're doing for them as their agent. And so I think that's a nice piece for you to sign up individual clients for. There's a full admin dashboard for the brokerage, and the brokerage will utilize this to see what's been happening with all the campaigns in totality. But each of you, when you go into Property Base Go and you click into your dashboard area, you'll have your own individual, dashboards as well. And it'll show you all the activity off of any ads, new listing ads that were run, on your behalf by the brokerage. And then you'll also have any details on ads that you decide to run on your own. And we'll take a quick look at some of those ads in just a second. But one of the things that will happen for you that I forgot to mention in the summary was, when you get your summary, when the ad ends, it gives you an opportunity to boost the ad again. So if your listing hasn't sold, or quite frankly, you're just really happy with the lead activity that's come in, you could choose to, on your own, budget, boost the ad. And it takes like 2 clicks. Like, you basically click through, put in a credit card, and run the ad again if you want to for another week. But you'll have this, full dashboard that'll show you all the activity generated off of, your individual listings. And again, any activity coming from other ad types that you may decide to run, on your own. So the organization will be, is supporting obviously a full 1 week listing ad that you guys will have, I think, great benefit from a lead perspective. A lot of people to drip on an ongoing basis within your, to add to your sphere. There's more campaign type of detail that's available as well. Now, there are other types of ads that you can create. So you might want to just put an image ad out there. So it provides you with an opportunity as an individual agent to, create an image ad, target it to a specific group of people, target it to a specific area. And then you can actually decide on the duration. Obviously that's, part and parcel of what the costs would be, but you can customize the ad. There's a lot of things you can do in just trying to basically promote yourself online in a particular part of the community. Maybe there's an area that you specialize in and you're an expert in a particular area. You might want to promote that through using an image ad. You can also create, video ads as well. And there are also promo ads that you can create, within the platform too. There's a lot of options around different types of ads that you can, publish to create, more opportunity to get your brand out there, your name out there, generate more opportunities to get folks into your sphere of influence. So You can also run open house ads. So this has been like, obviously not quite as popular in the last couple of years because in the different pockets of the country, open houses haven't been happening as often, but obviously with the way the market, has been shifting, I realize inventory has been low, but I think we'll still start to see more open houses taking place over the next year or two. So this might be something that you want to consider as well. You can run, an open house ad, gives the details of when that open house is coming. Is like a rolling clock that'll be there for the client will see leading up to the open house date itself. But some people might not be able to actually make the open house. And so, there's a high quality ad that you've been producing, but they can also request a showing. So, it gives you an opportunity to advertise, an upcoming open house, for that listing that you maybe have already advertised as well. And just gets, that property out there even more, on a digital basis. You could also consider running, some virtual, tour ads. Again, totally optional, something that you guys can decide whether you want to take advantage of or not. This would be something that you would, would come from your own, marketing budget. But again, a great way to brand yourself, the company, and promote, obviously, a listing that you have. And then one of the great pieces that that a lot of agents consider doing is actually posting, just sold ads. So, in any market, it's always an accomplishment to sell a particular listing. And then there are some listings that, are that much more difficult to sell. So like, it's a great opportunity for you to promote, a win that you've created for an individual consumer. And, each of these ads has customizable, aspects, to them. The nice part is you'll have the framework of all your branding and all those things built into the Boost, dashboard already. Glenn, have there been any questions so far, or you can see?
Let me see here. Oh, wait, we do have one right here. Let me just see. It says, did you talk about who the demographics will be and how is it different than Facebook Boost?
So it's very, very similar to Facebook Boost. The demographics themselves will be, it's like a 20-mile radius around a listing. So we're basically retargeting anybody that, has been actively searching for properties in a given radius of a particular listing. And so from a demographic perspective, that could be technically obviously any type of consumer. But as far as like who we're targeting, it's people that have been actually actively searching for properties in that set of a diameter of the property. Our team's done like a fantastic job at refining this process through the years because things are changing all the time online and from a social perspective, things have been changing all the time as well. So our team's always refining their process of how we're targeting individuals. Our formula has been very successful. We lean a little bit more towards the social ad than we do the generic, web ad. I think we've created like a very good balance between creating brand awareness and creating, more leads, to add to the sphere. So it's very focused on the given parameter though around your particular listing. So it's not like grabbing people from, 50 miles away or something. It's grabbing people that are in close proximity that have been searching, for properties, in that particular area. So it is very, very targeted from a social perspective.
Okay, let me see if we have any other questions. All right, so LAER will post any purchase listings for the first 7 days,
Right.
and then agents will be able to extend that or even create their own ads, correct?
100%. So
right.
After that 1 week ad is run, you'll get a campaign and it gives you, you'll have this option at the bottom. You can see on my screen here to boost my listing again. Okay. And you can essentially within 2 clicks, have that listing back up and running for another week, or you could choose to run it for a longer period of time if you wanted to as well. And all of that you can easily manage and do right from your CRM. So like you'll be logged into Property Base Go, click on your dashboard, and you can create new ads from there. Or you can click through on this email notification when you receive it, as well. The platform is, very, very user, friendly. I know everybody says that, but this actually truly is. It's pretty easy to navigate. And actually the creation of individual, ads and customization of them, I think is also quite, easy. There's a number of different, online tools, videos, different items you can go in and take a look at to help to get help if you need it when you're structuring these things. So no matter what kind of learning style you have, if you're more visual or if you're fine reading some training material, there's a lot available on the Homespotter site, to help you get through the process of setting up any individual ads. But I know a lot of agents who utilize the open house section, they utilize the promo ad. There's a lot of agents out there that are creating individual ads as well, in addition to the listing ads. In the past few years, there weren't as many listings being boosted past the first week, to be honest, because properties have been selling so quickly. But at the same time, the market's been shifting, and I think that there's going to be more need to promote, listings for a longer period of time as we get, into the latter part of, this year, and we start to figure out what people's behaviors are in this kind of, new market, because it's certainly a unique marketplace we find ourselves in, right now.
Right. And so does boosting to Facebook also include Instagram?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
The ads the new listing ad, rolls out into stories, Instagram and Facebook. And we've also been working with Nextdoor. That's something that will, evolve further over time. But the primary lead activity is definitely coming from, Instagram and Facebook, at least currently. But like I said, our team is always shifting their view on ad spend, where to spend it, where the best opportunities lie. And, I don't want to toot their horn too much, but they've done a really great job of balancing out, the branding aspect of things with the lead generation piece. And so we've been able to provide, very good brand awareness while at the same time creating, good lead activity, more people to drip on, because the majority of folks that are out there online, they're not going to go through a gated process unless they're actually like actively looking at properties. So you don't tend to see too many, for lack of a better term, like tire kicker type names coming into, as leads, because they, these are people who generally are, if they're going to click through that far, then they're pretty actively searching for property. So the quality of, the quality of leads, I'll never declare them all as hot leads, but they're all people who have, are definitely looking, actively at properties in that area.
And then let's see. Now you said after a listing goes live, it's between 4 and 8 hours before it's posted.
Yep.
And then now, are you pulling directly from MLS?
Or everything's being pulled directly from MLS. So it'll grab your first photo. And it will grab obviously the agent's contact information. Now the agent's photo will actually will be set up in the system through actually Property Base Go when we actually initiate your guys' automation.
Okay.
So anybody out there wants to make sure their photo is up to date inside of Property Base Go, they should go ahead and do that now.
All right.
Okay.
All right, and we'll be pulling the listings from Massachusetts, New Hampshire, Connecticut, Rhode Island, and Florida, and Maine.
Yes, sir. Yep.
All right.
All your affiliate, all the MLSs that you're associated with those ads will be pulled up. Once the individual dashboards are set up though, you guys, you will be able to just change like your photo and things like that right from your own individual dashboard. But the initial setup, we try to bring in everybody's information as much as possible to save everybody some time.
Excellent.
Yeah. And so that's, I know that's a quick overview, but, it's not a complicated, platform, pretty user-friendly. Like I said, easy to generate different ad types if you want to do some additional promotion. But certainly these listing ads that the company is putting out there is going to generate good activity for everyone from a lead perspective. And as importantly, get your names, your faces, the branding, that piece of things out there, equally as well. So it's a popular platform, one that we have, a lot of large organizations utilizing. And quite frankly, your presence from a digital perspective will, you guys are a very large firm, and you're going to look like you're an even larger firm, I think, with the presence that you'll generate off of these campaigns. So.
Excellent. So, all right. So, and we'll be ready to go live in about 10 days, you said?
Well, it just depends a little bit on any kind of customizations and stuff, Len, but anytime in the next, I would say 3 to 5 weeks, is just going to depend on
okay.
how quickly we can get up and running. But we'll get things on our end up and running as quickly as we can. We just want to make sure you guys have everything that you need in there from a customization perspective for the look and feel of your ads. Make sure everyone's, pictures, contact information, all those things are up to date. So just be a matter of how quickly we can, get those pieces of the puzzle in place, and obviously get things in structured as well with the individual MLSs too. So.
All right. We will definitely set a goal for the beginning of May. Awesome.
Okay, and so, we certainly appreciate the opportunity. We look forward to working with everybody that's on the call, and I'm sure you'll find that, the ease of use of the platform to be great, and being able to access it straight out of Property Base Go, is also, a nice added value. You're not having to log in and log out of different platforms. You'll be able to access your dashboard straight from there. So,
Okay.
okay.
All
If there
right.
are any other
Awesome.
questions, Len, I appreciate the opportunity to come on today, and we appreciate having this partnership with you guys.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate it, Jeff.
Okay, thanks. Thanks, everyone. Take
All
care.
right. All right. So that's pretty exciting news, right, everybody? Let me see. Yep, I am still on here. Good, good, good.
So Len, we had a question
Yes.
from Jess.
Oh, yes.
So how do we log in? So this will be available from your dashboard from Property Base or Boston Logic. She
Correct.
asked, what if we don't have a Boston Logic website? You don't need a Boston Logic website. You actually do have a profile through LAER on Boston Logic. So we will
Yes.
share the details on how to log in with that as we roll this out. Great.
Yes, there is. Everybody does have access to the profile that they can make some adjustments and everything else too. And Donna said that yes, he mentioned next door. So that's an exciting. I don't know how many agents are on Nextdoor, but it's a good local social media platform that's still developing, but it's not bad, and it's a good way to catch up on local information. And it runs a lot like Facebook as far as the ads and stuff go. So that's pretty good. All right. So next in line, we have Craig with us today. Craig had a couple of quick things that he wanted to let us all know about. Hi, Craig. How are you?
Good, Len. How are you?
Good, good.
That was outstanding. This is a really exciting new opportunity for LAER, I think. So great stuff as usual. Just a couple of quick education updates on the sustainability real estate home front, sustainable home ownership. For near Northeast Association of Realtor members, I'm going to just throw in the chat right now the brand new Fundamentals of Sustainable Homes class 2 CEUs, May 2nd from 1 to 3. If you are a NEAR member, which, as you know, Len, many of our realtors are, it's free for those members. I think there's a nominal fee for someone that's not a NEAR member if you want to take the class, but it is 2 continuing education units, and it definitely covers the basics of this part of the marketplace, which certainly Stacy, I, Len, Sergio, the whole staff would like to see everybody getting more clear, better education on what's happening in this part of the marketplace. I'll also be teaching the green designation, which is far from the fundamentals. It's a deep dive, 2-day dive, full 2 days, Len, where you get to hear my voice all the time. Isn't that exciting? For Greater Boston Association of Realtors. We're working out some partnerships with that, some exciting stuff going on there. I'm going to throw that in as well. But this is June 6th and 7th, and it's 2 full days live at the Reading facility with Greater Boston Association of Realtors. This gives you the deep dive that you really need to be a leader in this space. Really exciting stuff happening with the designation right now. We are in Massachusetts, the leading firm with the most green designated agents, but my understanding is from the registration, it's very close that another competing real estate brokerage could beat us in that. And we do not want that to happen. Of course, we'd like to be the leading brokerage in New Hampshire and Florida as well. So we're trying to tackle some of those things. Obviously, the Florida agents can't travel all the way up to Reading, but New Hampshire agents certainly could. So hopefully we'll see you all in these 2 trainings. Just one other note, Len, on the green designation, it's kind of exciting. Had a Maine real estate brokerage reach out to me. All of their agents participated in the green designation training because this real estate brokerage in Portland, Waypoint Brokers Collective, is going full force to really take over that market space in the greater Portland area up in Maine. So I'm going up there tomorrow for Green Day too, and some really exciting stuff happening there. So people are really aware of these opportunities and making it part of their business. Thanks.
That's really exciting. Awesome. All right. So I see Craig posted the links to his classes. That's awesome. I see I did not sign up for the one at Northeast Association of Realtors for May 2nd. I will click on that and sign up for that as soon as we're done here, because that's
Thanks,
very
Glenn.
near
Look
me.
forward to seeing you in class.
Yeah. So that'll be a good class to, and you guys, you got to learn this stuff. Otherwise you're going to be left behind. So, all right. So I think that's everything we have. We will get more information about Homespotter. We'll get it out to you. Right now we have a lot of information that we have to upload to Homespotter and kind of review everything in that. So we have our homework to do, and we'll get Homespotter rolled out as quick as possible. And thank you, Craig, for being here. And thank you, Sergio, for being the man behind the curtain. And everybody who's in Florida, make sure that you have a good time this afternoon at the awards luncheon, and post lots of photos, would you? All right. Thanks, everyone. Have a great afternoon.